Papa Smurf, quick follow-up, if I may. I still don't have a thing. And quick follow-up to the follow-up. Don't you think that that's a bit odd? Hefty Smurf is hefty, and Worry Smurf worries, and Brainy is really smart. I cherish you infinity times infinity plus 1. You are so cool when you do math. Well, it took 10,248 tries, but I did it. I finally found my thing. We are the standard kind Smurf Village division. Please, Mama Poot, we have to save Papa. Just drop us off. No one will ever have to know that you were involved. What would I do without you, Smurfette? Okay, let's get some ideas going. Blue sky time, no judgment. We pole vault over the wall.
Is the book safe?
What are you talking about?
Papa never told you about the grimoire? Of course. Papa never told you about the grimoire.
That's great. Beautiful, thank you.
Ha! Funny coming from a bunch of Smurfs who don't even know who they really are.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why don't you ask Papa? Oh, great. Our only hope is Johnny Clueless Smurf here.
Well, I think Magic Smurf has a nicer ring to it.
You don't get a name until you earn it. Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle once removed. The interdimensional guardianeers of good.
I wouldn't be too concerned, no name. We'll just keep trying until we find your thing. List making, Smurf. What's left on our giant list of things to try to find no name a name list? That's wonderful news. Let's try clog making. Well, you seem to have a bee in your bonnet. What's on your mind, no name? Oh dear, this is bad. We barely defeated them when he had no books. They've got this. No, Ken? They've got this.
Hey there, my name's Moxie, and we're the International Neighborhood Watch Smurfs, Paris Division. What? Smurf Village? Where's Papa? Smurfs, all in. Alpha Team, secure the perimeter. Bravo Team, protect the package. Bravo Team, protect the package. We got you. Follow us. Hup, 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 hup. It is. What kind of Smurfs are you? See you on the other side. See you on the other side. Hey, come on, Smurfs. Stick a Smurf in it.
Yes, sire. I think she's bored?
So she called me?
Yes, sire. I think she's bored. Your Smurf location hath been acquired. Honestly, it would depend on how big his pants were.
In the beginning, the world was bad. In the beginning, the world was bad. In the beginning, the world was bad. It was hot and gross and smelled like rotten eggs. Me, Jaunty Grimoire. Cha-cha-cha! One magic book. Me, Jaunty Grimoire. Cha-cha-cha! Hey, come on, chins up, pal. You know that whole onion ring thing? Well, that was you. That wasn't me at all. Stop! That's the interdimensional abyss. Anyone who goes in there never comes back the same. Stop! That's the interdimensional abyss. Anyone who goes in there never comes back the same. La 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 la. Something like that.
Wait! Everybody calm down. We need to be rational here. There's only one evil wizard who would do this. We're obviously in some kind of non-Newtonian portal.
Well, where's it taking us?
To the land of Ken. We're obviously in some kind of non-Newtonian portal.
Where's it taking us?
To the land of Ken. Wait! Where are we going? Wait! Where are we going?
What the show? This is not going to end well. Hide! Run away! What the show? I'm a bird. A beautiful bird. Oh, hey everybody.
I love being part of the Smurfs universe because I have godkids. And this gives me street cred out in Maplewood, New Jersey, and that's very important to me. Plus, I was a fan of the movie, the original movie I remember watching, and I'm just really happy to be part of this universe. Chris Miller, the director, when he reached out to me, I'm a big fan of Chris Miller. I like the way he works. I really like him as a person. I worked with him on Puss in Boots and had a blast. And so when Chris calls, I'm like, let me think about it, yes. Fun thing about doing a film like this, animated film, is there's so many people involved. I just know they've got an incredible cast. I know Rihanna's in it. That's what I enjoy going to the movie and being like, oh my God, we all worked on this together. Chris Miller is really good. He's very patient, very calm. He knows what he wants, and he helps you get there. Like, you know, I love a line reading, and if I really need one, he'll give it to me. And he explains everything so well, and there's just no extra, he doesn't waste time. You know, he seems like a real professional, and I think he's really funny and just really nice and very honest. I like working with him a lot. I can't wait to hear the music. Can't wait to hear Rihanna singing something about Smurfs. It's a big family movie, and you know, we could use that right now. I mean, family, something you can take your kids to, and I know kids will get really excited about this. And that's fun. That's fun to be part of projects like that.
Hi, my name is Sandra Oh, and I voice Moxie Smurf. I was happy to get the call to see if I wanted to voice a Smurf because I grew up with the Smurfs. I grew up in Canada, so I have a distinct memory of going to the library in my primary school and reading the French large format books of Les Smurfs. And all the kids always wanted those books, and that's what I really remember. One of our first little plays, I played a Smurf, and I sang a little song, and being a Smurf, yes. I mean, I have pretty deep cuts OG Smurf watcher and reader. I play the character of Moxie Smurf, who kind of helps our main band of Smurfs get to their next destination when they reach Paris. And I would say the thing that I really love about Moxie, which I was so pleased when I actually saw what she looked like, is that Moxie has a red hat. And if you know Smurfs, that means something. I really love doing animated films. I love lending my voice to animated films. I find it a really interesting art form. I find it extremely freeing. And I do have quite a bit of experience with it at this point. And just coming in here, throwing down some Smurf lines. And also because I do have a special place in my heart for Smurfs, it's great to be a part of.
I'm James Corden, and I play a Smurf called No Name in the Smurfs movie. I can just remember so many memories, or moments rather, growing up where it was just on in the corner of the room, and Gargamel, and this notion of these little blue characters who are so well defined. It's an incredible thing how it's kept going and retained relevance. So I'm very honoured to be part of it. My children are aware that I'm a Smurf. I've been fortunate enough to be the voice of a few different characters that have been animated in different movies and stuff. And I always say the same thing, which is, oh no, I'm not No Name. He just needed to borrow my voice for the purposes of this film. No Name is called No Name Smurf because he hasn't found his thing. He hasn't found his role. He hasn't found the thing that he is good at or meant for. And that's really kind of the real big crux of the story of the film, really, which I think lots of people can identify with, that feeling of not knowing quite why you're here, not knowing what you're meant for, not knowing what is the thing that you're going to do, particularly when you're surrounded with lots of friends who all have their absolute role and they know exactly what they're destined to do and be. And No Name is so kind of lost, really, that he's just called No Name Smurf. And the film really becomes a quest for him to try and find what is his thing. No Name's relationship with Smurfette is a really lovely relationship between the two of them, and she's his ally and confidant, and is the person that tells him it's going to be okay and not to worry about this, and she helps him on this quest to find what it is that he is meant to do. She gives him some tough love at points, and she's also a brilliant singer. because it's Rihanna. There's so many people who I just love and admire who are doing voices. I mean, like John Goodman is quite a hero of mine. But everywhere you look, really, Dan Levy, Natasha Lyonne, Hannah Waddingham, Rihanna, like it's everywhere you look. There are quite extraordinary people, but it's also quite a strange experience when you do a film like this because you really just do it completely on your own. It's just really you and Chris, the director. I think the reason the Smurfs just have this continual, extraordinary sort of success and relevance is fundamentally it plays into something that I think we all appreciate and love, which is the notion of a found family. So any time where there's a notion of a found family doing something together, that makes it really special. So all of these characters within this family are very, very defined. They're so defined that there's Grumpy Smurf and there's this Smurf and that Smurf and Happy Smurf and all these things. But really it's a found family. It's a collection of characters who all love and support each other. And that's really the ingredient that is there in so many great family films. These characters are people that are brought together and together they solve something. And that's, I think, why they've always been popular. I also think they're so definable by what they look like that wherever you are in the world, you could take a photo now of a Smurf. You could go all over the world and you show it to someone, and I reckon my hunch is that 3 in 5 people would know exactly what they're looking at. And that's quite amazing. I think it's important to watch it in a movie theatre because there's something magical about sitting in a room with 50 other people or 100 other people. Like, these are the only things that really remind us that we're all just human beings. I think it's really important on a deeper level to give your children those moments where the screen isn't just there and you can skip out of it, or I don't like it, it's gone. What is a Smurf? I mean, it's an impossible question, isn't it? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what they are, but I know I like hanging out with them, and I know I like being the voice of one. But in terms of what it actually is, that's like such a deeper thing. The most fun about doing films like this is getting to watch them with your kids or nieces and nephews and the like. That's the most fun, you know? Those are the things that I really like. And the amount of children who will like hear my voice in places, and it's a real thrill it's a real thrill to make something that you think is really fun, that you're really proud of, that people's kids can watch and enjoy. It's lovely. It's a privilege.
My name is Chris Miller. I'm the director of Smurfs. My first exposure to Smurfs was from the 1980s, the TV show, which I always found like just incredibly funny and strange, and I was always just attracted to that entire series. I just found it so compelling and different than anything else that was on TV. There was an opportunity here to use the original Peyo comics as a blueprint and making it contemporary for an audience today. You know, something that you could feel like you could reach into, that you could touch, that you could smell. That I felt like that was long overdue and a real opportunity. Life is good in Smurf Village, right? Every day is a gift. It's utopian. It's beautiful. You start your day with maybe some calisthenics and a song. Everyone has their thing. You're very safe and protected in this world, somewhere in the woods in Belgium, right? It's a secret location. And all of that gets taken away. when the evil arch enemies of the Smurfs find out their location, they abduct Papa Smurf, they take him away, the patriarch, right? And the movie really essentially, from that point on, it's a rescue mission. It's like they have to leave the safe confines of Smurf Village and head out across the world, across dimensions, in order to find their papa and bring him back home safely. No Name is the only Smurf in Smurf Village to not have a thing. You know, everyone sort of is born with knowing what they are, where their place is in the world, and how to operate on a day-to-day basis. And there's no conflict. You just do what you're born to do, right? No Name's name is No Name, and No Name has no idea who he is, and it's frustrating for him. You know, he's aspiring to be something more. He wants to find out who he is, and it's this journey that he's been on. It makes him feel like he's an outsider, right? Even in Smurf Village, he doesn't feel like he has a place. He doesn't feel like he belongs. And Smurfette is his best friend. Rihanna's involvement in this film as Smurfette, it's everything. She came in just like open heart, open mind, and also a history with Smurfs. Growing up in Barbados, I think she had one channel. Like there was one channel on the TV there, and it only played Smurfs. That 80s, that Hanna-Barbera 80s Smurfs show, right? And so she grew up with it. And this is what I will say about her. Like, she knows more about Smurfs than anyone I will ever know. It's very meaningful to her past. She's so singular in her vision, in her messaging, with her voice. She's an incredible artist, and she can take anything, right, and just make it her own. And you know, she's insistent on making it her own. And that's what gives her just such a strong individual style and take, you know. I suspect she's a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to that, you know, and really, really dials in on every note and every beat and every bit of expression, right? She zeroes in on it, but at the same time, when she creates something, it's free form and free thinking, and it's liberated, and what she's bringing to the film, what she's created musically is exceptional. You know, it's singular, it's her voice. John Goodman as Papa Smurf to me is a blessing and a half. It just feels so right. And Nick Offerman is brilliant and funny and smart. There, I just said it like Nick, smart. Kurt Russell, what a joy that he's in this movie, that he's a part of the team. Hannah Waddingham is absolutely astounding actor. Octavia Spencer is a joy and brilliant, and once again, like, understands humor and can deliver the funny. Dan Levy is so good as Joel, the assistant in this film. He's hysterical to me. James Corden just brought so much depth to the character of No Name. He brought his singing voice, which it performs a song that I think is extraordinary. Amy Sedaris is just that's a treat. Amy plays a magic book called Jaunty Grimoire. She is effervescent and bouncy and just nutty enough and wonderfully off her rocker like Amy is, and I mean that in the best possible way. Amy's brilliant. I think it's relatable for an audience to, you know, to watch these little critters heading out into a giant world that at times is dangerous, or it's unpredictable, or, you know, you're sort of jumping into the void, you know, where anything can happen. And I think I think audiences can relate to that, you know? Everyone feels at times like they're small in a big world, right? And, you know, if they're with people they trust, people they love, in this case, Smurfs they trust and love, I don't know, you can find a way through, right? With the support of that community. You can stand up and face off against anything. What is a Smurf? Smurfs, let's see, they're 3 crab apples high, so it's like that. They live in this community in the woods. Everything is cool. They got all the Smurf berries they need. They got all the water they need. They live in their little mushroom houses. Community feels right, totally safe, totally protected. But what is a Smurf? Well, it's more than that. Like that's their world. But what they discover, or what they will discover, is that when you take that community and you send them out into the world, you know, they realize that their place in the universe is much bigger. And what they discover is that the secret to having success in both places is having each other. Awesome. Oh, and they're blue. That's the other thing, they're blue.
My name is Dan Levy and I play Joel in this gorgeous film. I had the toys, I watched the cartoon, I've watched the movies, I had figurines. Yeah, I'm a consumer. I'm a Smurf consumer. I always liked Smurfette, you know? She was feisty and had gorgeous hair. None of the other Smurfs had hair, really, so I liked the fact that she somehow managed to maintain hers with a hat on, which is hard. Joel is Razamel's assistant. He is fresh out of school. This is his big break. He is incredibly ambitious, if not very, very green. And I think he's dealing with a boss who both inspires him and confuses him at the same time. And I've been there, you know? I've been in the early days of PAing on sets. I certainly had to answer to a few people that made me question everything and anything. So yeah, you know, just bless him. He's doing his best. I put my faith in everyone to make sure that it's all sort of consistent and feels good. And it's an interesting process because you kind of come in every once in a while and continue to do more and more and add to it. And for me, the great joy of that experience was getting to see the film come together over the time that it would take for me to come in and out of the sound booth. So I always really looked forward to getting the call to come back in because it meant that I got to see some new things. It's just so special and it feels so singular and funny. I think that's what I noticed sort of first. Even when I was seeing it in its most crude state, there was such a humor to it, the way that it plays out. It has a very smart, funny sensibility to it. And it made me laugh. And when something can make you laugh in like the very early days, particularly in a situation like this, you know that something really special is happening. Rihanna's the best, and I have followed her with such like admiration, and I think she is just one of the best to have ever done it. So for her to be kind of central to this entire process is so exciting to me, which I feel like we've all been, you know, waiting for. The fact that we get some music here is a real treat. I think audiences are going to be very excited. It's a side to Rihanna that we don't see that often, I think. Granted, we don't get to see her that often. So this is a thrill, even if she does appear as a Smurf. It makes perfect sense. It's just charisma. It's just both of them share a magnetism and a charisma that I feel like only she could bring to the character and only the character could bring out of her. I mean, it's this wonderful sort of happy place. It's gonna be a great movie. It's gonna be a funny movie. It's gonna be a bold, colorful, gorgeous movie. It's gonna make you laugh. It's gonna make you cry. It's gonna make you feel all the things. And it has an unbelievable cast led by the great Rihanna. If that's not reason enough, I simply do not know.
I am Marshmallow, and I play the awesome character Turtle.
my guy. Ever since I was a kid, I've known about them, and obviously, yes, since I can never remember, the Smurfs have been around in so many iterations. And when I got hit up for this opportunity, I was like, of course, like, I'd love to be a part. It's such a long legacy. I just saw this as an opportunity. You know, they brought it to me, and I'd never done anything like this before. But, you know, and especially when I knew, like, I had to put on, like, kind of like a funny voice, you know, it's like, it's kind of up my alley. So, yeah, I just jumped at the opportunity and just decided to wing it. It was just a little bit of me thinking, okay, what would this guy, this little turtle who's like real slow have? And also, kind of at the same time, my friend had this bulldog, and the bulldog always looked sad or always looked this, always looked that. So I would always do this voice. And just as a coincidence, right when I was, you know, was seeing my friend's bulldog a lot, they hit me up to do Turtle, and the voices just kind of, I showed everybody my voice, and they were like, oh, that's perfect. Turtle is just ingrained in the Smurfs, you know, culture there, and he just gets caught up, wrong place, wrong time, and he's half and half, kind of trying to mind his own business, you know what I mean? He's just like, you know, in the beginning of the movie, he's just like playing on his Wurlitzer piano, just doing his own thing, and the Smurfs come in and kind of, you know, get him mixed up in the mix. I just am so honored to be a part of that list. It's still kind of like not even real to me. Like, it's so awesome, and I think they did such a good job. And just even looking at that list of people, you're going to be like, oh, I have to go see this movie. Like, this is going to be great. And it is great. I've obviously always wanted to work with Rihanna on the music side of things, but this would, I guess, technically be our first project together, yeah. It's like a huge, like, journey epic, you know what I mean? And I think to get the full experience, you would have to go and be with whoever, your family, your friends, whoever it was. And, you know, like I said, like, every person can relate to at least one character in the Smurfs, or even Turtle, you know what I mean? And yeah, I just think all in all, the experience as a whole would just be better with family and friends, and to watch the journey and see how it all ends, it'd be great.
I basically was drawn to this movie because Chris Miller and I have worked together in the past, and you know, we had a really great working relationship, and you know, he gave me this script, and it was so funny, and you could just see all the possibilities to create a version of Smurfs that no one has ever seen before. We came into this trying to create a movie that would work for kids and people who knew and loved the Smurfs, but access a bigger, wider audience, you know, with Rihanna and with music, and just make it more exciting and theatrical and bigger than Smurfs have ever been before. Smurfette and No Name are the main characters of the movie. You know, they're the leaders of this group of Smurfs who are going to rescue Papa. And they have this special kinship revolving around the fact that both of them are a little bit of outsiders within Smurf Village. Smurfette is played by Rihanna, who is an icon, and justifiably so. And, you know, I think when she, you know, before we ever did any records with her, you know, she had said that she was taking on the role of this little blue badass, and that sort of informed how we looked at the character, because we knew that that's what Rihanna sparked to. So we thought, like, let's run with this, and it was great. It was just sort of a great sort of North Star for Smurfette. We put together this this trio of John Goodman and Nick Offerman and Kurt Russell as like the three ancient Smurfs who were the original Guardianeers of Good. And, you know, that's such an incredible trio and pairing of like actors. And, you know, they're all three of them have this combination of like great humor and gravitas, and, you know, they're having fun in the movie. And, you know, I feel like that all totally comes through, you know, and then you are pairing that against evil wizards played by, you know, Octavia Spencer and Hannah Waddingham and Nick Kroll, and these are all like amazing actors. No Name is the heart and soul of the film, and, you know, there's a vulnerability to that character and that performance that, you know, that James brought to him, and, you know, there's charm, and, you know, there's
humor, and he sings beautifully in the film. I feel like this idea that there's a community of creatures, or people, or Smurfs, or whatever you want to call them, that work together for the greater good, and just aren't concerned with the most of the problems of everyday life outside of Smurf Village, and their focus is on creating a place where everyone can be themselves and be unique, and yet be a part of this greater good. To me, like, that's the thing that is most universal about Smurfs. But I also think that they're beautifully designed, funny little creatures. I mean, Peo was onto something.
Hi, I'm Natasha Lyonne, and I play Mama Poots. Mama Poot was quite a blast to play. She's a real furball. Who is Mama Poot, and what is a poot? I am pretty sure that she runs some sort of underground operation involving a speedy vehicle, and when Papa Smurf gets kidnapped, well, Smurfette's got one and only solution: to go to Mama Poot, because, well, she's the mama for the job. The cast. Amy Sedaris, Sandra Oh, Rihanna. It turns out that I guess Rihanna did not need me to sing on any of the songs, which was confusing and inappropriate. But yeah, it's got a real star-studded bonanza. Oh, Dan Levy, Billie Lourd. Octavia Spencer is incredible. She's in this. So it's really fun when you do these movies, because, you find that you're surrounded by all these people that you respect so much. What's so fun about Mama Poot as she is now it's just pretty funny that she really is like some, I don't know, iteration of the eccentricity that lived within this clearly overly eccentric package that I'm bringing to the table. I didn't know that she was within my range and realm until suddenly she was animated and we fed off each other. So now she really does feel like an extension of something inside, in a way, and so that's very fun. I think I would like to be sort of a very acrobatic type of Smurf, so I could sort of flip around and kind of hop rides real nice and easy, and naturally, being something of a merry prankster, I guess I would definitely get involved in hijinks.
My name is Nick Offerman, and I'm playing Ken, the brother of Papa Smurf. I remember the Smurfs. I feel like I had perhaps aged a little past the Smurfs, but I have a couple younger siblings, so the Smurfs were on a lot, and I quite enjoyed it. It just transported me to a world that opened up my creativity and my imagination. One of the fun things about working in our business as an actor is if you're lucky enough to be offered jobs, a show will call you up and say, so we have this cowboy in outer space. And so you hear these, these wonderful creations coming from some of the greatest creative minds on the planet. And so I got just such a call about a new Smurf character who is the brother of Papa Smurf, who's this mysterious, sort of secret agent, special forces, highly trained alpha protector. Papa Smurf is kidnapped by the evil wizards, Gargamel and Razamel, and things get things get really existential really quickly, and the Smurfs determine that they have to seek out Ken to help them rescue Papa Smurf, and so it becomes a multi-dimensional battle. To me, that was the big headline when I first got offered this job, was Rihanna. Rihanna is making a Smurf movie it's going to be full of her as Smurfette and her music. And so I'm over the moon. I'm like most of the world, I'm a massive fan of Rihanna, and I hope that she will agree to meet me one day. And shake my hand as it's written in my contract. It's a pretty incredible cast of characters they've put together. I've been a massive admirer of John Goodman for a very long time. I mean, you couldn't cast a better Papa Smurf. Rihanna, Amy Sedaris. I mean, I am very grateful to be riding on the coattails of this team of all-stars. Dan Levy is incredibly funny and beloved. Chris Miller is fantastic. He's my favorite kind of director in animation. He understands first and foremost that you can do anything. You're not hamstrung by visual limitations, and so he was really creative and quite open to us bringing our own flavor to each performance, which makes it a lot of fun. As you're reading through scenes and creating these moments, whatever the writing sort of inspires in you, you end up then, adding little riffs and trying to add some jazz here and there. A movie like The Smurfs, with the music and the visual spectacular extravaganza that it has turned out to be, it makes it, to me, a requirement to see it in a theater with people roaring with laughter. It's a huge party that is just elevated. It's way better to see it. It's like the spectacle of a circus. You want to see this thing with its full fireworks, with a movie theater sound system for all of that incredible Rihanna music, and popcorn. A Smurf is, I think, a manifestation of what is beautiful and positive about Mother Nature's creation. I think that if you find an idyllic forest and you're lucky enough to take a few right turns on a magical, whimsical path, you might run into a village of Smurfs, and they are just the manifestation and a fairy-like sensibility of what is beautiful about this world.